The world asks much of you. To endure, to keep going, to carry what feels too heavy and still find the strength to smile. But peace, true peace, isn't something you chase. It's something you return to, slowly, quietly. Tonight we'll sit with a story not of kings or warriors, but of someone like you, someone who struggled, who bent beneath the weight of life, but learned to meet that weight with stillness. Not escape, not denial, just presence. This is a quiet reminder. You don't need to be perfect to be whole. You don't need to win every battle to find calm. And even in the middle of life's hardest seasons, you can begin again. Close your eyes if you'd like. Let the day soften and fall away. And allow this story to meet you right where you are. The morning begins before the light. A faint chill clings to the air. You rise not to alarms, but to silence. The kind that presses gently on the skin and fills the space around you. Your home is small, built of wood and straw, and the floor creaks softly beneath your steps. There's no hurry, just the quiet knowing that work must begin. You slip into your robe, worn and patched, and step outside into a village that is already stirring. This is not a life of leisure. It is one shaped by habit, by weather, by the land itself. You bend your back over the field, hands in soil, planting rice seedlings one by one. The mud is cold between your fingers, but you do not flinch. You have done this before. You will do it again. The work is tiring. The sun climbs slowly overhead and sweat collects at your brow. But no one complains. Everyone moves together, bound not by choice, but by necessity. The harvest depends on your endurance. Content. At midday, you sit beneath a narrow tree. Your lunch is simple, some rice, a bit of pickled root, but enough. Around you, others eat in silence. Not because they are unfriendly, but because there's comfort in quiet company. There's nothing to prove, nothing to chase. And as you sit, you feel something settle inside you. Not happiness, not sorrow, just stillness, a kind of acceptance. You realize that peace does not arrive when the work is done. It comes in moments like this, amid the dust, the hunger, the repetition. Reflective, not because life is easy, but because you are no longer resisting it. Calm. Evening returns, and you walk home. Your muscles ache, but your steps are steady. A small fire warms the room. You eat. You mend a torn sleeve. You kneel before the household shrine, not to ask for anything, but to give thanks for having made it through the day. Peaceful, and then, before sleep, you step outside once more. The stars are quiet above you. The air is sharp. You sit for a moment on the wooden step, watching the night, and in that silence you understand. Wise. Peace doesn't wait for life to improve. It appears when you meet life exactly as it is, with steady hands and a quiet heart. Reassuring, you lie down beside your family. The fire fades, the darkness deepens, but inside there is light. Determined. And tomorrow you will rise again. Not far from the village where quiet labour shapes every hour, a solitary man once lived among the pines, neither farmer nor warrior, but something in between. They called him Ryōsen. No last name, no titles, just Ryōsen, a name spoken with softness, with respect, with something like mystery. He hadn't always been this way, still, quiet, weathered like the bark of the cedar trees. Long before he built his small hut at the edge of the forest, Ryōsen had another life, one shaped not by stillness, but by anger. As a younger man, he had known ambition, not the kind that seeks gold or glory, but a restless ambition, a need to prove, to push, to outdo. He trained with warriors, practiced with monks, studied poetry under travelling scribes. But in every path, he found only friction. He wanted clarity, but but lived in turmoil. He sought peace, but stirred conflict, and though no one ever said it aloud, Ryōsen's eyes always looked too far ahead. Then, one season, his village was struck by a famine. Crops failed, tempers rose, families left, people turned against one another. Ryōsen tried to help, organizing supplies, urging order, but his intensity became a wedge. He shouted when he should have listened. He demanded when he should have yielded. In the end, he was left alone. He walked into the forest carrying only a bundle of rice and a blade he no longer wished to wield. He built a shelter with his own hands beside a stream that ran clear and cold. The roof leaked, the wind howled, nights were bitter, but he stayed. For the first time, there was nowhere to go, no task to finish, no one to impress. The silence, at first, was unbearable. He would sit on the floor of his hut, wrapped in straw matting, fists clenched in frustration. The wind rattled the walls, and his own thoughts rattled louder. Regrets, blame, fear, memories of arguments, faces of those who had turned away, but he kept sitting. Days passed, then weeks, then seasons. The storm inside him did not vanish, but it changed shape. It grew slower, quieter. He began to notice the rhythm of his breath, the way the sun touched the floorboards, the sound of leaves falling one by one. At night, he no longer fought sleep. He simply let it take him. Ryōsen never spoke of enlightenment. He never claimed to have found wisdom. He said only this: I sat long enough to stop running. You've walked through fields where silence carries the weight of endurance. You've met a man who found stillness, not by fleeing the storm, but by sitting through it. And now, as night deepens around you, as the quiet settles like mist across your thoughts, a gentle truth remains. Peace was never waiting at the end of the road. It was never locked behind achievement or hidden in someone else's approval. It lives in the ordinary, in repetition, in stillness, in showing up even when your heart is tired. In a world that constantly pulls your attention outward, Ryōsen's story offers something rare. The reminder that you are allowed to stop striving and simply be. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are on a path, one walked by countless others before you. A path made of dust and breath and quiet strength. There is no need to fix everything before resting. No need to conquer your thoughts before sleeping. The truth is simpler and softer. A peaceful life is not one without struggle. It's one where you learn to sit with your struggle, without fear. So breathe. Let the day fall away. Let your body grow heavy. Let your thoughts slow like the ripple of water settling in a bowl. You've heard enough for now. And the quiet you've been searching for? It's already here, within you, waiting patiently, like a friend who never left. Good night. You are safe. You are whole. You are enough.